Okay, let's talk about the tools in Affinity Publisher. So this lecture will give you just understanding of the tools, just to let you know what each of the tool does. We're not gonna go through the settings of the tools, etc., because we are gonna do this as we go into the future lectures. But for you to understand what do those things actually mean. So from previous lectures, you know that this is the tools. These are where the tools are located, and here we are going to learn what they do. So without further ado, let's just get it started. So first tool is very basic move tool. So move tool is allows you just to select different things on your screen and just to take it and to move it if you want. Like for example, I'm gonna give you some understanding. Like I'm gonna write something right here, and with the move tool I can actually move it, or I can actually even resize it if I want, or if I haven't selected, I can select it just like that. So this is what move tool does. Very important thing, probably, and very important tool. You can access the move tool by pressing V on your keyboard, basically. So it's a very, very cool thing to have. Like right here, you can see actually the shortcut for the move tool. Let's move to the node tool. Node tool is actually a very powerful thing that allows you to work with the nodes. Right here, we don't have any nodes, and for that reason I cannot show you exactly how they work. But when you have the vector nodes, for example, I'm just gonna draw with the pen tool. I'm gonna explain you how the pen tool works. I can select and actually move the nodes however I want, just to change the shapes, change the forms. It's like make the curvatures, etc. It's a very, very cool thing to have. Like it allows you to edit the vector nodes. We are going to learn how to use this like in practice in the future as well. So just stay put for that. Next is very important is frame text tool. This is probably one of the best things the Affinity Publisher has, and probably the thing that will force you to use this as a regular word processor as well. It's a very, very cool thing to have. So what this thing does, it allows you to create the frames where the text will be filled. As you can see that I created a frame right now, and this is where the text will be written. So for the purposes of this lecture, I'm gonna fill out this with the filler text. All you need to do is just press right click and insert the filler text, and this is how it will look like. You can use the move tool to move it around however you want, and what is the very important and very cool thing, I can write another frame text and I can move it with the filler text. But instead of moving the filler text, I'm gonna write this and connect this to this one. What you will see right now is whatever the text is finished right here, it will continue right here. This is what this thing does. Don't worry about whatever the thing I did right now. We are going to learn this one as well. So what it allows you is to select the square, just create a square, and this is where the text will be written. I will do the same thing as well. I'm gonna take this and connect this one as well. So what will happen is that this text is connected to this text, and this text is connected to this text. It's weird looking, but for the purposes of the book or anything that you will create in the future, it will make sense. So this is what text frame tool does, and it is the T on keyboard to select. And by the way, the node is an A on keyboard to select this. Okay, the next tool is table tool. It's like a frame text tool, but it allows you to create tables. It's like creating a spreadsheet prepared for you. It's a very, very cool thing. You can even add the rows, etc. If you want to use this as a spreadsheet, you can absolutely do it. It's a very, very cool tool to have. If you are willing to put any like tables in your text or in your books or whatever you want, you can just use it just like that, and you can fill a text, you can resize, you can change everything that you want. It's a very simple thing to do. In order to select the table tool, you need to press T as well. It's both of them are T, I think. Yeah, all three of them are T, just to show you, like T for the frame text, T for the table, and T for the artistic text tool that we're gonna go through it right now. I actually rarely use these shortcuts, but for you, just it's very good to know. Now, next is the artistic text tool. So what's the difference between frame text tool and artistic text tool? So artistic text tool is just a free text that you want to write whenever you want. Like if you ever use the Photoshop, the text that you're writing there is an artistic text tool. Frame text is like for the body text, like if you're doing like the book, like a document, this is what you're using. Artistic text tool, like if you want a title, for example, to use this, I'm going to press and hold like this to just choose a size, and I'm going to write hello. So this is an artistic text tool. That's only this text will be selected. So I can move it however I want, etc., etc. Yeah, it's not as the same thing as the frame text tool, which I will show you right now. As you can see, the difference is uncanny. It's like the title and the text itself. So it's pretty simple to understand what's the difference between frame text tool and artistic text tool. And again, to select it, you need to press T on the keyboard. Next tool is pen tool. Very important and very powerful thing to do. It allows you to draw a vector shapes for your document. What I use it for is I use it for if I want to create a very weird frames and very weird text frames. So if I want, for example, the text frame of like this shape, like just like that. If I want the text frame of this shape, this is what I use it for. I can actually make the stroke a bit wider, just like that. And what's a very cool thing is that I can select, right click on this, and I can convert it to text frame, and that's where the text will be written. I can write and insert filler text, and as you can see, it exactly shows how it's written. I can even change the notes, and as you can see, I can make a very weird shapes for the text to fill in. So as you can see, it's pretty weird thing to do, and you can do this. What's most important, the thing that is important is that you can do this, and the pen tool will allow you to do so. Plus, it will allow you to create the masks in the future. I'm gonna be explaining everything, of course, but just to know that pen tool will allow you to draw some weird shapes on your document. In order to select the pen tool, you need to press P on your keyboard. Next is, well, shape tools. It's on M on the keyboard, and this is the only tool that has multiple tools inside them. And what basically allows you to do is to draw the shape whatever the tool that you select. For example, if you select the square, it will allow you to select the square. For example, if you want to use for the rounded rectangle, you can write a rounded rectangle. For example, if you want a star, you can draw a star. If you want, let's say, the cog tool, you can draw a cog. It's a very cool thing to have. And if you want to draw the shapes and you don't want to draw it with a pen tool, this will allow you to draw the shapes right then and there. Very powerful thing. And again, in order to select it, you need to press M. And in order to access all the tools inside, either you need to long click it or just right click it or with your mouse, and you can just select whatever tool that you want. Okay, next is picture frame tools. There are actually two picture frame tools. Both of them are selected with an F. It is the rectangle frame tool. For example, if I want to do this, I can write this one, and I can it works in the same way as a text frame tool, but instead it works with the pictures. I'm gonna show you, for example, a picture of dog. Let's find the picture of dog on Unsplash. We're gonna talk about this in a bit, and I can select this dog right here and put it inside the frame. And what it will do is, it will fill out this frame with this dog. I can even zoom in if I want, and this is how it works. This picture frame tool allows me to have the square dog right here. I can even change this direction like that, and I can move the dog like this. I can move this one, and let's just jam the round frame tool here as well. I can do the same here, and I can just put another dog right there. Let's say this dog in the round, or I think it's called ellipse or something like that. Picture frame ellipse tool. So this is exactly the same thing. It will allow you to put a different picture. Oh, this picture is not that great in size. That's why I need to resize it. And yeah, that's how it works. It's a same concept as a text frame tool, but instead of text, you put picture inside it. Again, you can change, you can write a very weird shapes with your pen tool as well if you want, and transform it the picture frame tool, and you can put this dog in this weird frame as well if you want. But if you want just square and circle, just ready up for you, you can immediately just use these tools right there. So it's a very powerful tool, and again, in order to select it, you need to rotate with an F between the square and ellipse tool. Okay, next is place image tool. So it's very simple thing to do. It's better when you press this one, it will load an image from your computer. If you have a frame tool and you want to place an image there, that's basically what it does. You're placing image. It's the same thing as just dragging and dropping. It's very, very simple thing. Like it does exactly the thing that I did right now, but instead of just using the stock image inside the software itself, it just loads the image from your computer. It's exactly the same thing. It's a very simple thing, and you can select it. Actually by just pressing the tool bar right here. Does not have any context keyboard button for this. Next is vector crop tool. This will allow you actually to crop the different images that you have, or practically anything that you have on a screen. All you need to do is just select it, and what I will do is just, for if I don't want the entire dog, I will just do this right now like this, and I will do this like this, and just like this, and I will switch back to the move tool, and as you can see, it's only the dog left. But what it does, basically, it creates a rectangular mask around the dog. So it's very easy thing. If I'll delete the mask, it will just restore the dog. But we're gonna again, I'm gonna explain what does masks mean in the future. Very important thing and very powerful tool that you can use that will actually simplify your cropping. By the way, if you move this one, because I have selected only rectangle, I'm moving the rectangle, not the picture of the dog, and for that reason, I can reframe the dog however I want. Like, for example, if I want half the dog, no problem, I selected half the dog and I can move it just like that. If I want the full dog, I'm gonna select the rectangle in the layers and just move it just like that. That's a very simple thing to do. Again, we're gonna learn how to do this in the future lectures. Next tool is fill tool. You can select it by pressing G. Very, very cool thing. And this will allow you to change the color of the fill of anything that you want. All you need to do is just press and drag on the screen, and what it will allow you to do, not just have a single color on the screen, but it will allow you to have a gradient as well. Just an example, I can show you that I created right away red and let's say the blue gradient, like to make it look bluish, like this gradient. As you can see, like it created a beautiful gradient. And if I want to move the color just to make it around this middle, just like that, or something like this, as you can see, it gave me very beautiful gradient on the screen. Very cool thing actually to use for your pictures, and we are going to use this tool a lot, so just be mindful of that. Next tool is the transparency tool, which is practically the same as a fill tool, but instead of changing from one color to another, it is changing from non-transparent to opaque, from opaque to the transparent. So what it did basically right here is it made this part opaque and this part transparent. And as you can see, you can change the position of the transparency. Very cool thing if you want to create something that is like going from the opaque to the transparent. Very, very cool thing, and you can just work with it very easily. Next is color picker, which will allow you to choose any color that you want. If you select anything that you want, like color picker or anything on the canvas, it will allow you to choose this color. Or if you want to change this, of course, you can change it as well. Very simple thing. We're gonna use this a lot in the future. Next is view tool. It will allow you to view the screen. I actually never, ever use this tool because it will allow you to just move with your left mouse click, but you can select on any tool. Let's say the move tool right here. Is it the move tool? Yeah, this tool right here. And if I move this, it will move this picture right like that. But if I click the middle mouse button, it is doing exactly the same thing as the move tool. Or if I press spacebar and move with my left mouse button, it is doing exactly the same thing that the move tool does. So it's pretty useless tool, but if you want to use it, you can use it 100%. And the same goes with the zoom tool. You can press the zoom tool and you can just press to zoom in. You press Alt and hold it. It will be in a zoom out. I never use it again because in any tool I can just middle mouse button again to move, and I will hold the control button and scroll my mouse wheel and it will zoom in and zoom out, or control plus and control minus. I really don't need this. I really don't need this tool, and I highly recommend to forget the existence of these tools as well, because you really don't need this. Imagine just doing something and you need to go and select the other tool just to zoom in like that, then select the other tool just to move like that, and then continue working instead of just pressing Control, zoom out, and just move like that however you want. It's much faster, and I highly suggest you to in the future that I will show you how to do shortcuts, memorize these tools. So these are all about the tools. There is nothing difficult in that. And we are going to learn again more about each and every one of the tools as we go through the lectures and as we actually learn how to use them on the field. So this will be it for this one. Let's go to the next one.